So I'll just start off by saying that June and July were both the worst and best months this year. We'll start off by going over June. As you can see here, there's a fairly large member count peak in June, which is the highest we've gotten all year. In almost every aspect, June was a good month. To start off with the tryouts, we had 97 tryouts hosted this month, which resulted in 41 members gained. Moving on to trainings and deployments, we had 319 hosted, with 196 of those getting attendees. Next on to the ranks, we saw increases in almost every rank, except endless ranks. We also saw a large number of new officers in June, and at one point pilots had 8 officers, although by the end of the month we only had 4. Moving on to the rank distribution, you can see much of the same, as we experienced notable gains in NCOs and senior NCOs throughout the month. Now onto the host distribution. June saw the highest number of unique hosts this year, as well as the most even spread. If you're confused what this graph means, each color represents a person and what percentage of the total events that month were hosted by them. So ideally you want a really even distribution, as that way if one of these guys leaves, there's still plenty of people hosting the same number of events. On top of that, promotions and flight school exams saw much greater distribution, at least compared to last month. These still aren't great, due to massive portions still being handed out by individuals, but compared to the last month, this is pretty good. As far as the June Host of the Month competition, I won for the second month in a row. Lastly, for June, we'll go over the poll. For officer ratings, as expected, the active people are voted higher while the inactive people are voted lower. Additionally, more people said they were confident in the high command, as well as less people saying they're planning on leaving. Now moving on to July, where it all went wrong. As far as tryouts go, we hosted 70 tryouts, which resulted in 24 members gained. Now you may be wondering, if we gained 24 members in July and 41 members in June, how come we still lost so many people? And that is because despite our gains, we lost 73 fucking people throughout June and July. Similar to the tryout graph, as far as trainings go, you can see people just stopped attending near the end of the month. As far as the individual ranks go, you can see people just stopped trying to rank up for the most part. The only real movement you can see is downwards, and all but one rank class experienced an overall loss. It isn't as obvious on the graph, but if you look closely, you may see we also experienced significant losses in officers. If you remember, back in July we had 8 officers. Meanwhile, in the present day we only have 3, and 2 of them are inactive. And this has had a massive effect on anything officer related in the Air Force. For promotions, the only officers who promoted people throughout July were me and Alex just left. So as it stands now, it's looking like throughout August I'm going to be the only one promoting people in the Air Force. The same exact thing can be seen in the flight school exams, as now almost all the flight school exams are going to have to be read by me. Now thankfully, although we're losing all our officers, we still do have a good number of active NCOs left. And as you can see, event distribution didn't change that much compared to last month. Now as far as the rank distribution goes, however, this is very bad. As of now, we have more senior non-commissioned officers than we do enlisted. As for host of the month, I won for the 3rd month in a row. You'll notice though, that only about half as many people hosted events compared to last month. Lastly, for the poll, here's how everyone was rated. And strangely enough, less people said they were thinking about leaving the Air Force, despite the fact that way more of them are leaving. Now that all of that is out of the way, we'll get into the specifics of what is happening to the Air Force. To be brutally honest, I don't fucking know. Look at how many events we're hosting. Throughout June and July combined, we announced 670 tryouts, trainings, and deployments. So clearly, it's not that we're not hosting enough. And as you can see, it's not that we're not gaining tons of members either. It's just that for every 2 members we gain, we lose 3. Now a lot of people have told me that they know why this is happening. And it's very simple in fact. It's that we're not hosting enough fun community events, game nights, or scrims. But let me tell you, that is not the cause of this decline. That is the effect of it. The reason that we stopped hosting game nights, community events, and scrims is because no one fucking attends them. When I host game night after game night and no one attends, I'm just gonna stop hosting them because clearly it's just a waste of time. Now as far as the events that happened throughout June and July, as mentioned earlier, we had a lot of officers leave. Kobe, Matik, both Alex's, Lucidhill, and Oscar all left. There was an inspection in June that went pretty well, but things were only downhill from there. Regarding squadrons coming back, the reason that for so many months this was rejected by the high command was due to what they called a lack of staff, but due to us hitting 8 officers in June, it was finally decided to bring them back. Although right as we were finishing them, before they were even announced, several officers began leaving, and then not too long after they were released, the whole LARP council thing happened, which resulted in 2 of our most experienced officers leaving, as well as the Kerma no longer planning on transferring into the Air Force. Due to the way they are currently structured, there's no need to shut down squadrons for a lack of staff, although the full implementation of squadron trainings will not be able to come around until we get more officers. As part of these new LARP reforms, we have to set a goal for each month, and so for August, our goal will simply be to stay above 40 members. With school starting and all, I know from experience we're going to be hit very hard activity-wise, so all we can really do is just try our best to increase recruitment and hope that we can bring in more people than we lose this month. That is all.